when that's. Thanks, Taki. All right, yeah, I just wanted to take the opportunity to welcome you all to our integrations event. And for those of you that have been us from the start of our journey, which has been approximately 7 years now, to those that have been with us for a short while, hopefully you agree that core practice is so much more than a standard PMS. In fact, I can see a couple of familiar names there. Hey, George, Sheldon, Nimesh, how are you? I guess this event that we've got on tonight is about our integrations and partnering with fellow innovators within the dental industry. It's been exciting times for core practice in the last 18 months. For those that are tech savvy, I never knew what an API was till 18 months ago, but you know, we truly have developed our API. We've documented our API, and we've got it fully developed to allow partners to work closely with us. And all of these have been handpicked Australian innovations. So we've got 6 partners talking today. We've got 15 partners in total. So this will be the first of a few series. We've got more partners coming on board that will provide you solutions to problems you know you have, and also providing you with solutions to problems you never knew you had. You know, if I can give you a few examples, you know, we've got a solution to reduce your FTAs. Now, we've got partners that are using this solution already. It allows you to take deposits of whatever amount you choose, whether it's 5%, whether it's a dollar amount for new patients booking appointments. That small commitment reduces the FTAs. We've got the ability, an integration with a business called SmileRight, another Aussie innovation that improves your treatment plan closure rates by communicating with your patients and offering them finance solutions. You know, we've got partnerships with the likes of Fixed Price, AirSmile that you'll hear from today that will drive patients to your appointment book. There's also solutions with, say, Smilo that'll help you reactivate non-communicating patients. We've got full integrations with accounting softwares like MYOB and Xero that the majority of you are using. If you're not using one of those too, maybe yeah, look at utilizing those. We've got dental surgeries that are really saving a lot of time and money through their accountants by utilizing this full integration. Also got an amazing integration through Medipass. If you don't know about that, Medipass allows its sort of a modern day HICAPS. So touch-free, allows you to do in-chair quoting and allows your patients to approve health fund payments and gap payments on their mobile phone. And also, you know, the utilization of AI in the dentistry is trending. You know, we've got an integration with CoTreat, which will assist with your clinical confidence. And as mentioned, you know, much more integrations with intraoral cameras, digital cameras. That's all coming through in the future. So please enjoy this evening. We've got these presentations that we're putting together. They're short and sweet, enough to give you enough information to want more information, I guess. And please enjoy the evening, and I'll pass you back to Taki, who's going to MC the event. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mark. Really appreciate that. So we're going to kick off with one of our, I guess, partners. I had the pleasure of meeting Rebecca from AirSmile in Brisbane at ADX just a few months ago, late last year. And Rebecca basically has 22 years experience working in the dental industry. She's a qualified dental assistant, manager and practice startup consultant. And after decades of scaling dental practices on the Sunshine Coast, she's now joined forces with Dr. Heath Fraser to create, I guess, Australia's first digital practice comparison platform dedicated to dental, which is called AirSmile. For Rebecca, creating the AirSmile marketplace has been a combination of her passion for making oral healthcare more accessible and clear for patients to navigate, while helping practice owners thrive by connecting them with patients better aligned to their way of doing dental. So I'll pass you on to Rebecca. I'm sure she will give us some insights of what AirSmile does. And over to you. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you, Taki, and thank you, Mark, for explaining some of those amazing integrations. I'm really looking forward to tonight as well, to see some of the other fellow, digital experts, I was very much like you a couple of years ago prior to AirSmile. So as Taki mentioned, my background is completely in dental. And a couple of years ago, Dr. Heath Fraser and I decided that we would develop this digital marketplace. We saw a gap in the industry, I guess, and we really wanted to be practice that they love, and also for dentists to help improve their digital marketing capabilities and help lower new patient acquisition costs as well. So I'll go through what AirSmile is and does. But yes, very much like you, Mark, I had no idea what an API was, and pleased to say today I do. So it's quite the the world to navigate the whole digital industry. So okay, so I'm going to start by sharing my screen, so I can walk you through a little bit about what AirSmile is. Okay, so as I mentioned, we developed AirSmile a couple of years ago because we have been working within the industry for quite a few years. Heath and I have been working together for about 12 years. And during that time managing his practice, I could obviously see patients, especially nowadays, they're wanting more control and transparency over the care that they're seeking. They are looking for very much for a dentist that they trust and love. So there's definitely that connection that they want to build and that relationship. It's not just seeing, any old dentist down the road, that white coat syndrome sort of being removed now, and we're moving towards more of a retail health space. And patients, that's what they're demanding from us. They obviously want care that they can afford, and that doesn't necessarily mean cheap. It just means what's affordable for them and their budget. So that all comes from the patient's perspective and what they're wanting, and that's what we could see was being asked of us in practice. And then owning a business and running a business, obviously it gets very expensive trying to market to new patients, which is one element, but then it's also too getting the right patients through the door that sort of align with the way that we do business. So, for us, our story, we're not a preferred provider. And so for us to have a patient come through our door and spend an hour going through, full new patient exam and treatment planning and diagnosing, only to find that they're like, oh, I thought you were a new a preferred provider with Bupa. And we're like, no, we're not. So, had we have been able to establish those clear services earlier on, and obviously that comes down to advertisement on websites and all that sort of thing. But if the patient overlooks that and our team don't ask the right questions in the very beginning, we're spending a lot of time, production time, with patients that may not align with the way that we do business. And that's costly for a practice, but also for a patient as well. So we developed AirSmile to help both elements, so both patients and dentists, trying to remove as much risk as possible for both ends as well. So ultimately, our purpose is to connect dentists with a patient that aligns with the way that they do dentistry. That's basically the crux of it. So I'll show you how it works. I have a quick little video, and then I'll slow it down and I'll go through exactly how AirSmile works if you're not familiar with it yet.
Finding a new dentist has never been easier. Here's how. Select the dental treatment you need. Enter your postcode. And in seconds, you'll be shown quotes, ratings, booking options, and more. Select a practice and call or book a consultation online. Search AirSmile.
So in essence, AirSmile is an online directory, just beefed up. So we have sort of switched gears a little bit. So it's not they search for a practice that's, does everything and anything, and they're not quite sure. Patients that come on the AirSmile platform are very much geared towards trying to identify exactly what it is that they want. So we do offer general care booking options, as you can see on this first mobile phone slide here. We do offer your general care and your checkups, your cleans and whatnot, and an emergency appointment. So they can obviously book that. But where we really differ is allowing patients to find a practice that offers the more high-end dental services that they might be after, from implants, clear aligners, everything that's listed there. So when a patient goes on here, let's just, for example, say they click on implant and crown, they're then taken instantly to the directory. And the quote is actually listed there upfront for the patient. So it's an instant quote. And the way that we do that is when we onboard practices, we gather the fee, the estimated fee that you normally charge, a standard fee for that particular service, and we put it in your dentist portal in the back end. That way, then when a patient clicks on that, they are then given instant quotes for that particular service upfront. Patients can then navigate into a particular practice's profile. And from there, they are able to look at, so we sync up your Google reviews plus any AirSmile reviews. Once a patient has had an appointment with you, they are asked to leave a review. We list all of your services, all of your payment options, bios for all the dentists with photos, everything a patient could possibly need to be able to make an informed decision about whether or not you're the right practice for them and whether or not you align with them. So cost is there. Patients tend to move towards cost because it's what's familiar to them. But our market research has shown that cost is actually not the most important thing to patients. Actually, reputation is. So we focus really heavily on that. This is why we've integrated with the Google reviews, and we ask patients to leave AirSmile reviews. Anything that we can do to boost your profile with the patients, that's what we're really all about. So once a patient's decided that you're the right practice for them, they can then go ahead and book an appointment online. This is where the core integration comes into play. So this is really exciting for us. This is actually our first integration that we've had, and Core Practice have made it absolutely seamless for us to integrate in with them. So thank you so much, guys. It's not easy, I know, for the dev team, but we got there and it's been amazing. So thank you. But what this means is that patients can then book directly into your appointment schedule, so into your Core Practice appointment book. Your admin team don't need to do a thing. So once we onboard a practice and all the information is in your AirSmile portal, which I get to do for you, a patient can then see all of your white space in your appointment schedule, and they can book an appointment directly, and it all just seamlessly goes in there. So it's amazing, this integration. So we have 3 different elements to the AirSmile platform as a whole. So there's the patient marketplace. So they can view that online. So that we have a web app. So it's nice and easy for people to view on their mobile. And it's also available on PC as well. So it does have a bit of a different view and that really nice interface and user-friendly experience, no matter what they're using. Then we have a secure online practice portal where you are able to go in and make any adjustments to your profile as you like. So you can add in as many photos as you like, as much information about the dentist and the practice, anything that you think is going to increase your chances of the right patient finding you and booking in with you. And then, of course, we have our administration portal that we have access to, which gives us an incredible amount of data. When patients come onto the AirSmile platform, we're able to locate where they are, where our high traffic areas are, and we can help share that information too. So practices that are wanting to grow, we can let them know if there's patients searching in their area quite easily. So what you get with the AirSmile membership, I guess. So we have a paid feature. So we're only relatively new to market. So we've been in the industry for about 2 years. We have about 250 dentists sort of scattered throughout Australia. So we have gone nationwide, but we have focused predominantly on Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne, and we have got a few over in Adelaide as well. So we're definitely looking to grow our dentist members. It's not fun for a patient when they land on AirSmile and they're in an area where we don't have any dentists available. So right now, we're just really trying to build up that network of dentists so they're available when a patient does make a search. So because of that, we've actually made it free for dentists to join AirSmile and list their practice. I do all of the setups for you. So all you need to do is fill out a simple form, which takes about 2 or 3 minutes to opt into any of the treatments that you would like to list your practice under. And you tell me the fees for that. And I gather all the rest of your information for your profile, either from your website or your socials or anything that you want to send through to me. So we can have you up and live within about 24 hours. The other great thing about a free feature, I'll park online booking for a moment, but if you didn't have that integrated, because maybe you're not with Core yet, it's actually free for you to receive emails and phone calls from the platform directly as well. So that's really where most patients are contacting and connecting with patients at the moment, is either through email directly from the platform, or they're just pushing the call button and they're getting a lot of leads that way, and that's completely free for you. As I mentioned, we integrate with Google reviews, and then when a patient does go see you, It's completely cloud-based, so you can control that anywhere from any time. And sorry, I'm just making sure my internet's still okay.
It is now. Don't worry. It wasn't before.
Yeah, sorry, I saw
Okay.
it died. Yeah. So it's important to note that you can opt in to any of we have 15 different booking options, and you have the ability to opt into a minimum one, but it could be all or as many as you like. So if your practice doesn't offer clear aligners, you don't have to opt into that. And as I mentioned, we set everything up for you. So where the paid feature comes into it, how we make our money is it's completely free for patients. The only time that you will be charged by AirSmile is when a patient books online through the AirSmile portal and they arrive for their first appointment. So it's only for new patients, and that cost is $79 for that first booking. If they continue to book through the practice, to your practice through AirSmile, there's no charge for returning patients. It's only when they book that first one, and they must arrive to the appointment. So if they do cancel or fail to attend, you just go online and let us know if we haven't already been notified, and we just take that off the account for that month. So how you do it. So if you are fortunate to be a core member, it's super simple. So you would go online and I'll give you the link to claim a profile at the end of this presentation. And you go on there, it takes a couple of minutes for you to just put your business details in and opt into any of the booking options. Once you're in there, you can process a support ticket through your core practice software. And once we receive that, we take care of the rest for you. So it's so simple to get this set up. Your appointments, everything that you've got set up already in your core practice software, our system will read that and it will offer those patients the right appointments that you've already set up. So there's really nothing for you to do, which is amazing. So just to summarize, no onboarding cost, and we take care of everything in regards to setup for you, although you do have total access to go onto your practice portal and make any changes that you like. There's completely no risk. So there's no subscriptions, monthly fees or anything like that. And there's no lock-in contract. So you can cancel your listing at any time. And the only time that you will ever pay a fee for being part of AirSmile is if you activate the online booking and the patient arrives for their initial appointment. I did have a couple of questions. How am I going for time, Taki? I can save these to the end if you like.
You thought you were going to be short, but
I know
you've run out of time. So.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll save these to the end if anyone did have them. So maybe I already covered this anyway in the information.
Oh, good. All good.
Okay, thanks, Taki.
No problem at all. Thank you. But yeah, we can actually go into questions a bit later on, I guess.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
At the end of the session anyway. So thank you so much, Rebecca. Very insightful. And I'm sure there will be questions later from people, but they can, like I said before, guys, you can actually put them into the chat area, the question area in the Zoom platform, and I'll keep an eye on them, and I can ask those questions later on. Next up is Jordan Berry from Fixed Price Dental. Jordan is a highly accomplished software developer and director of Fixed Price Dental. He holds a degree in computer science from the Queensland University of Technology and has gained extensive experience in software development. Jordan's passion for software development has led him to create innovative solutions that have made Fixed Price Dental revolutionize the dental industry. His expertise in software development has allowed him to develop bespoke software solutions that have greatly enhanced the efficiency and profitability of dental practices. So I will pass you on to Jordan, and he can explain what Fixed Price does and how it integrates with core practice. Thanks, Jordan.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that introduction. I will just share my screen now. Are you able to see that?
Yep, that's all good. Thank you.
Cool. No worries. All right. All righty. So as a patient, imagine going to a dentist where you knew how much you were going to spend before even getting in the chair. being able to plan and organize your budget prior, knowing exactly what you're getting. That's why we created Fixed Price Dental, to put more power in the patient's hands. We offer them no hidden fees, no add-ons, no embarrassing bill shock, ultimately saving them money. 1 in 3 Australians don't see a dentist regularly due to being unsure of the cost of dental treatments. But by avoiding a dental visit, this can lead to more serious issues down the track as teeth deteriorate, costing them more. We partner with existing professional Australian dental clinics to provide this service. With our experience in the dental industry, we know just how much it can cost to get a new patient into your clinic and the extent of marketing and advertising required to do so. We take all of this on board ourselves so you can get back to focusing on the dentistry. We market to patients via multiple channels and techniques such as SEO, Google Ads, social media, and radio and billboard. Fixed Price Dental is becoming one of the most visited dental websites in Australia. We have a heavy presence across all major search engines and social media platforms. From this, we gain an enormous amount of traffic daily. Fixed Price Dental is an innovative new patient acquisition platform. We supply our partnering clinics with new patients, giving them the opportunity to treatment plan and hopefully convert these new patients to their loyal patient base. These patients are actively seeking dental treatment and are therefore motivated, and most don't have a dentist they regularly visit. Dentists partner with us for a cost-effective and fresh approach of gaining new patients and the opportunity to build a greater patient loyalty base and support oral health in their local community. Core Practice, being one of the most innovative and leading practice management systems on the market, it made perfect sense to form a partnership to be able to bring even more value to our customers. With our Core Practice integration, clinics can take advantage of automatic online appointment publishing, automatic booking entry, and data syncing. These features can save practices loads of time and admin and work absolutely seamlessly. We find clinics who take advantage of these integration features on offer receive 60% more bookings than those who don't. The integration setup is as simple as connect and forget. Prior to this partnership, if you used Core Practice and wanted to use Fixed Price Dental, you would need to manually create the appointments patients could see on our website. But now all that work is taken away and you can start seeing even more new patients through your doors. You can customize and configure the appointments and practitioners to sync exactly as you wish, and patients will enjoy being able to see more appointment times options available for them as they browse. So I was quite quick, guys. But yeah, I appreciate everyone taking the time to listen to what we're all about and how this new partnership can really take things to the next level. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask and I can address them now. Otherwise, I'm happy to answer at the end. But yeah, that's Fixed Price Dental. And if there's any questions.
There's no questions at the moment. I guess we'll just leave it till the end as well.
Yeah.
Jordan, thank you so much for that.
No worries.
Really,
thank you very much.
Really appreciate your time tonight. We do have a question actually. Is this simply a comparison website?
Yes, so we don't encourage comparison of prices. It's we don't allow them to actually filter or put prices in the order of descending or ascending order. We just get the locations to pop up and then you can filter by payment plans closest to you, practitioners, information about them, opening hours, stuff like that. So just information you'd want to know about a practice. And yes, the prices are listed. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's just so they know exactly how much they're up for before they actually get into the clinic.
So it's a comparison, Caroline says.
Yeah, look, if the patient wanted to compare prices, they definitely can. But that's the idea, is just basically that they know exactly what they're up for before they get in the chair.
Okay. Again, if there's nothing further, we'll move on to the next speaker. We have something here. Hi, Jordan from Yana.
Jackie,
Yeah.
someone else typed a question. That's from Nikhil.
Oh, I didn't see that. So thank you, Yana.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So free to join, free to be a listing. You only pay when you receive an appointment from the website, and we are $50 per appointment. Once you receive that booking, we do encourage you then convert that into your loyal customer. And so then all future appointments are booked directly with your clinic.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Thank you so much for that.
No worries. Thank you.
So we'll just move on to the next speaker, Max from CoTreat. Max Ganhewa has been in private practice for 15 years. He founded CoTreat in January of 2020. He does general dentistry for clinical work, but his main interest is decision-making under uncertainty, biases and heuristic schools of decision-making, diagnostics, treatment planning, and technological solutions to limitations of decision-making under uncertainty. In other words, using clinical decision support systems and AI. So I'll pass you on to Max and he can talk to us about CoTreat. Thank you, Max.
Thanks, Steve Stuckey. I just pop this up. Can everybody see this okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, CoTreat, we'll go through this pretty quick. There was a lot of jargon in there. I'm sorry that was the intro that we sent you, Taki, but essentially clinical decision making in private practice, we call it diagnosis. We call this treatment planning. So it's a kind of fancy school of research, but essentially we do this every day as clinicians. So practice owner, started a practice in 2014, pretty linear career path for a few years. The penny really started to drop when I wanted to grow the practice. So it got to the stage where around 2016, I just wanted to hire a couple of associates, a hygienist. But then I started to freak out a little bit, like I've poured my sweat, blood and tears into this practice. And all of a sudden I can't see the patients, like the books are getting to 2 weeks plus, clear demand for an associate dentist or a hygienist, but it's a huge amount of trust. Like, our market research says reputation is way more important than fees as well. So from a patient's perspective, you've heard about, the primary dentist in the practice, not the associate dentist. So to be okay with seeing the associate dentist or the hygienist, it's a big leap of faith for the practice owner and for the patient. Plus, like to fit out a second surgery, third surgery, this takes quite a bit of capital. So one, from a reputational point of view, and two, from a ROI for your investing in expansion point of view, you want to make sure that diagnosis and treatment planning is standardized and good across the clinic. So that's pretty much what got me down into this rabbit hole. We went through a bunch of research papers, and eventually we ended up starting an AI company. The research was fascinating, and clearly, like around 2020, AI has gone crazy at the moment, but around 2020 is when we got really interested in it. And we thought clinical decision support software is something that could help with these problems that I was seeing every day in my practice. So there's tons of different types of AI models out there. Like there are so many things behind the scenes. Obviously, ChatGPT it's what's taking the headlines at the moment, but from Alexa or Google Assistant or Siri or Tesla auto-driving cars, it's everywhere, and it's going to get more and more ubiquitous in the next 5 to 10 years. You can bank on that. What we've been really developing is systems for medical imaging. It's a segment of AI called computer vision. So what we use is photos, X-rays to draw observations from that data set. So why is this important? So to go back into this problem of expanding the practice to get new clinicians on board, I'm freaked out about errors, right? I'm freaked out about errors at the diagnostic phase, at the treatment delivery phase, and also at the outcome measures phase. I want to make sure the quality that's being delivered from my practice is top notch to maintain the reputation, and also to make sure I get good ROI. So this is called the Swiss cheese model of error prevention. So this is clinician one. And if they're paired with a hygienist, for example, any errors, it can be caught by the second human, but quite crucially, something like an AI system or a clinical decision support system, it can catch things that humans just sometimes let slip through the cracks. So that collaborative approach is what we really try to champion at CoTreat. We're not going to tell you what to do. Like the legal risk and the education and the patient, that's the dentist. it's your provider number, but this is just a safety net or a second set of eyes that can just help with the decision making and error prevention process. This is the technology and how CoTreat is using it is quite different to these companies, but computer vision, it's been in dentistry for quite some time. So Invisalign uses it to create their ClinChecks, and 3Shape and Dental Monitoring use it too. So yeah, we've been pretty much in like stealth R&D mode for 3.5 years, and just earlier this month we were at the Core Practice booth, and we had a great 3 days with Taki and Mark. It was loads of fun, and we got to chat to loads of dentists, and yeah, it was a fascinating experience slowly getting this thing into market. So without further ado, what I want to do is I actually want to go through, this is a risky thing to do, of course, show it product demo live, but I just want to kind of go through the actual product. Can I just confirm, Taki, that you can see the actual product?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
All right. So how does this thing work? We use images. So ideally, you'd be using the Core Practice image viewer itself. And all this data it's latent data, right? Like you look at this once every 6 months or whatever when the patient actually comes in, but all this data is profoundly useful. So what CoTreat tries to do is we try to read this latent data using a combination of AI and humans. Since this is so complicated, there's this clear human element to what we do. So essentially, we don't go image by image. Rather, what we want to do is we want to analyze the case as a whole. So we analyze the whole set of data, and we have 300 different observations that it goes through a checklist. Let's say the AI plus humans will go through I think we're up to like 320 different observations, goes one by one and say, is this observation present in this data set? So out of the 320, this particular data set has resulted in 21 observations being present. We're still working on like accuracy and actual metrics around what's the specificity, what's the sensitivity. So we'll actually have some good metrics and published research in the coming months. But right now we're confident enough, and we've got the human oversight to get this thing into the market. Yeah, so this is the raw data that's captured in this case. We actually algorithmically summarize it as well. So this is really a lot of information, and if your associate dentist or hygienist is in the clinic, Mrs. Jones in the waiting room, this is a lot of data to get through. So what we try to do is we try to bubble the most important observations to the top. So we always go with patient harm prevention as our North Star, and things like perio, secondary caries, abscesses, all these things will bubble to the top. But we're also mindful of the ROI element and ethical evidence-based opportunities to make more revenue, like crowding. We also want to bring these to the surface. So the expectation from your associate dentist or the hygienist is take 30 seconds, take 15 seconds to quickly read this. And this is in top of their mind when the patient comes in, can chat to the patient, and yeah, it's just better conversations. And ultimately we want better treatment plan and better case acceptance, because one other way you can use is you can actually literally get Mrs. Jones in front of the computer and say, hey, look at this cool toy we have. And just go through these items, and then you can actually say, yeah, I actually agree with that a lot. There's a little bit of bone loss in a few areas. You can see the angles there. So it's not that bad, but this is really incentive to come back 6 monthly. This is incentive to floss well. So it really attaches visual and empirical observations. So you're not just providing an opinion. It's like this true collaborative approach, which is part tech, part human expertise. So that's at the patient level. We've gone one step further. So this is a demo site, guys. So the sample size is super small. But imagine when, let's say, you have 2,000 patients in the practice over a year or something like that, we can analyze all 2,000 pages. It's the aggregation data that makes this tool really powerful from like a practice owner's point of view. So once all the data is aggregated, you can actually go into these filters and you can see, like, let's click alveolar bone loss. And this is a tiny sample size, so ignore this, but essentially, yeah, stage 1 was 5 occurrences, stage 2 was 2 occurrences, and you can, I don't know, you can go to Dental Calculi and you can see that some of these observations are trivial. This is just supragingival calculus on a photograph. Who kind of cares? But these are the really significant ones. There's radiopaque calculi that's potentially been missed interproximally on bite wing radiographs. So you can click that and it'll open up your entire patient list. So you can actually quite strategically get to these patients that have these clear problems that needs to be fixed. Yeah, so it's a pretty profound way to look at your practice. So not just looking at the financial insights, you're looking at clinical insights that can really make an impact for the patient's well-being. And when you treat these things, it's obviously going to be a ROI thing as well, where you're doing treatments to fix evidence-based observations. Last thing I just want to quickly show is the integration to core practice. So it's super simple. You can just click here. There's an integrations tab. Literally click the tab and you're integrated. So the data uploads will happen automatically, providing you consent to it. Say I want this patient or this clinician to be guided. But we've gone one step further. Our tech team's actually created something called a Chrome extension. So all the data that you see in CoTreat can now actually automatically come back into core practice as well. So I'm just going to show you there. There's a Chrome extension installed, and it says, so any observation can come straight back into core practice. It's pretty slick, and it's amazing what the tech team's done here. So you don't have to go through 2 platforms to access the data. All the analysis and the reporting from CoTreat can come directly onto core practice, and the core practice dev team's been amazing working with us to make this happen. So really excited about the partnership, and fingers crossed we can go from strength to strength. Cheers.
Thank you, Max. There is a question very quickly before you unshare, but you've done it already.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We have from Nikhil, we have, can we see some model pictures with highlighted readings, please?
Model pictures, Nikhil. So did you want the images segmented or annotated? So we're essentially, we go from image to text rather than annotate on the image itself. So we're quite different to some of the other AI providers that you might have seen in the dental space. I'm not sure if that answered the question. I'm happy to try.
There's a response. Interesting platform. Would want to know the subscription cost of the platform.
Yeah, I actually forgot to show you guys. So let me go back. I get so obsessed with the clinical stuff. So let's go back. That's a great one. That's kind of why we're here. So just to quickly close up, so the key things is we try to get the treatment plan sizes up ethically and then build trust with the patients. We've got a TGA listing. We're a class 1 medical device. To answer your question, thank you for prompting. We charge $3.99 per month, and that doesn't matter how many clinicians are in. You're happy to mix and match as many clinicians as you want. It's we can deliver 150 navigator reports. That's the key metric that we track, and we're happy to work with you if you're like a super high volume practice. If you're a corporate or multi-practice owner, we're happy to work with you and kind of work at a custom level. But yeah, no contracts, no setup fees. So yeah, essentially we're really happy to sit down with you and see what your requirements are. We've also got a 30-day free trial. This is a special launch offer since we're quite new to the market. Happy to, we're really proud of the product we've built. So happy to, especially if you're a core practice client, jump on and just test it out and use as many reports. They're up to 150 in the month, and then hopefully we can go from there. So if you're interested, just jump onto CoTreat.ai and send us a query, and we'll hook you up.
So we don't have a visual for the patient, but only the readings. Is the question from Nikhil again?
Visual for the patient. I don't think I quite understand the question, but so essentially it's how ChatGPT goes text prompt to text output. We go from image prompt to text output. So it doesn't like highlight beautiful, teeth yet. It's a work in progress. We'll get there in the next few months, hopefully. But right now, what we've focused on is the evidence-based observations that goes from image to text.
All righty. Thanks from Nikhil. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Max. I really appreciate that. We'll go to some questions later on again at the end of the session, and we'll just move on to our next speaker. And Rachel, you're going to have to help me with your surname. I've never asked you actually.
It's Rachel Deggering, but I tell people it's Burgering, but with a D in
Burgering.
front. Yeah.
Nice. I like it. Well, I've had the pleasure of actually we've almost been at every single ADX in the last year, which is about 3 of them. I think after COVID, there was an influx of ADXs going on, and everyone wanted to attend them. But I've been to 3 of them, I think, with Rachel at the moment and counting. So Rachel initially founded I guess Jeeve Analytics in 2000.
I'm just going to interrupt. I didn't found it. I don't want to get in trouble for that one.
You co-founded it.
It was founded in 2017, and
19, okay.
I just didn't want to take the credit entirely.
That's all right. I know Jeevan founded it, but but Jeeve Solutions is the new market-leading BI dental analytics software. And it's used to enhance growth of dental clinics across Australia. And since its launch in 2020, the core product, Jeeve Analytics, has quickly become an industry favorite, already being used by over 1,000 users nationally. Wow, I didn't know that. That's fantastic. With almost 3 years of experience, primarily in the dental industry, Rachel is one of the founding members of Jeeve and has been the operations manager for over a year. And I can tell you she's a hard worker. I've also seen her in the practice doing some assisting and other stuff as well. So without any further ado, I'll pass it on to you, Rachel. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Taki. I'm just sharing my screen here for everyone so that we can get started. Yeah, thank you so much for the integration and for the introduction, and good evening, everyone. So yeah, my name is Rachel Deggering. It's Burgering with a D, but Jeeve Solutions, so our core product is Jeeve Analytics. And as Taki mentioned, it's a business intelligence software that integrates with your practice management system and your accounting software. So your core practice, if you're with Xero or Maya, we're integrated with both. So we do have over 1,000 users since our launch in 2020, so over 100 clinics at the moment. And we're built up, so a total business intelligence system. So not only with our 6 intuitive analytic dashboards, we are also fully team inclusive. So everyone will get their individual logins. So the clinicians, front desk, the DAs, owners, practice managers, depending on the role within the clinic is what everyone will see. So alongside the analytics, we also have our morning huddle, which is a playbook of the day ahead, but also our automated patient follow-up system. So we're all about automating your clinic by eliminating the manual entering and the human error that comes with that. All the reporting and the Excel spreadsheets that are usually used for recalls and ticks, for outstanding treatments and such. We also enable, as a clinical owner, to easily roll out clinic KPIs for both the front desk staff and the clinicians, and truly just make database decisions. So that's by our 6 analytic dashboards we've got here. So in all of our dashboards, just checking you can see my mouse, but all of the dashboards, you are able to select a specific data range. So we can have a look at this month, calendar year, financial year as well. Our first dashboard is where we can see how the clinicians are performing. So we're looking at production, hourly rate, but also the treatment plans and the completed rate of that, so that when you're rolling out your KPIs of, say, completing X amount of treatment plans, you can have a look at the data to see if that's been completed by the clinicians, but they also get their own accounts so that they can hold themselves accountable and have a look at that information outside of your performance-based meetings and so forth. So this data that we're looking in the clinician analysis is we're having a look to see at where is potential CPD needed, and throughout the rest of our dashboards as well, by, for example, when we're looking at the treatment plan average cost versus completed fees, it could potentially be a communications interest where we're looking at how they're talking to the patient and how they're educating them on completing their treatment plans. Our second one, clinician procedures and referrals, is more in depth on the procedures that are being completed and also how they're being completed. So we've got the procedures breakdown per clinician, so we can have a look at all our dashboards over a clinic point of view and also the individual dentists as well, and how the procedures are being completed as well. So for example, the root canal to extraction, again, it could be the case of the communication between the clinician and the patient, and are they being educated on saving their teeth versus extracting them and such. So it's just having the database decisions, the data to back up your decisions when is it time to have a communications course and so forth. Our third dashboard, the front desk dashboard, is primarily the information that's coming through from your core practice account. So from the PMS, we're seeing just from the books, how busy is the clinic based on the working hours, what's the recall and reappointment rate, what percentage of the patients are actually pre-booking their appointments for 6 months' time, and how many are booking back in. Our marketing dashboard is where the information will come through also from the accounting software. So we're cross-checking from the PMS and the accounting software so that we can allow you to initially see the information on have your marketing campaigns actually been successful. If you've put out a marketing campaign a month ago, how many new patients has that actually given you, and what's the revenue of that, so that you can either continue or maybe go down a different stretch on that. Our finance dashboard, again, the information is coming through not only from the PMS, so from what's already being entered in your day-to-day practices of entering in the item codes and the fees associated with that, is we do also cross-check from your accounting software. So for Xero Myo, for example, you do have the expense chart, but we're looking at the production, the net profit percentage, and also the expenses chart here. So in the actual software, we can hover over this bar chart and again, have a look at a specific time frame, maybe financial year or calendar year, and see exactly what are you spending on your wages, your rent, your consumables, and all such. We've also got the industry benchmarks there as well, and the production and collection, so we can see what are you collecting after your receipts and then discounts have gone through. So alongside the 6 analytic dashboards is usually what happens is everyone is very analytic focused for a shorter period of time, say in the first month or after your performance-based meetings or after any communication course or anything like that. But we really break down how to improve the statistics that we're seeing on a daily basis. And this is also what sets us apart from other business intelligence softwares, is alongside the analytics, we've also got our morning huddle. So this is where we can see a direct playbook of the day ahead and also the previous day, so we can see which of our patients have actually booked back in so that they know their communication course actually worked. We've also got X-rays, so we can automatically see what patients are due for their X-rays or their 6 monthly checkup and clean. And a big one and a big feature in Jeev is we also can flag in the incomplete treatment plans. So initially when we have a look at the playbook of the day, which is this one here, the dentists, they'll log in and they can see the information come through directly from the PMS. So we've just outlined it with appointments. We've got our flags down there. So which patients are due for their X-rays, outstanding treatment is also flagged. So all the treatment plans that we were having a look in the proposed costs that hasn't potentially been completed, we're breaking this down day to day so that we can see, okay, our now 30 patient John Smith, let's remind him of that filling while he's actually in the chair, because the research shows that the patients care most about their teeth when they're actually at the dentist, not so much when they go home and it just goes out the ear. So it's having this information right in front of you so that we're also eliminating the human error of potentially missing that treatment plan that was advised 6 months ago or the year before, and now we're reminding the patient to get that crown done, and obviously for their benefit as well, so their fillings are done before they turn into root canals. So what I mentioned before is that we do include the whole team. So alongside the clinicians having their logins to view the analytics side and the playbook, but we also incorporate the front desk so that we enable the communication across the whole team. And this is in the second part of our morning huddle, which is our automated patient follow-up calls. So we've got this for our recalls, so our checkup and cleans, post-op calls, whatever treatment is incomplete, FTAs and UTAs as well, which is all automated. So it eliminates the lots of clinics do the Excel spreadsheets and the reports and such. So this is all based on the item codes that are being entered in day to day. Jeev picks up on the specific item code and the date that it was originally entered. So a checkup and clean code that was entered 6 months ago will then show up in the morning huddle. And the front desk, when they log in day to day, can have a small snippet of calls to complete. One of those would be our checkup and cleans, our recall calls. It's the lifeblood of any practice. It's the bread and butter. So as I just mentioned previously, if they're using Excel spreadsheets, if you give a front desk staff member 100 calls to make, most likely they're going to procrastinate, or their production will just be really low. So we break it up in small snippets of calls so that they have a daily list that they know that they can come in, complete, and tick off, so forth. So here's what it would look like in the morning huddle. So the overdue recalls, they can see when they log in. John Smith, there's his number. This was the last time that he was seen. Let's give him a call and remind him that he's due for his 6-monthly checkup and clean. And depending on the status of that call is where they can also enter that data. So if he's booked in, they'll book him in and that's fine. Or we can also select another follow-up for John Smith. So, you know, we're looking at the data in the marketing dashboard, and we can see how much we've spent to generate the lead and to get this new patient in. It's ensuring that once you generate the lead, we're keeping them intact and the patient is being called to come back into the clinic. So another part of our morning huddle is, alongside the checkup and cleans, we also have the incomplete treatment plans. So this is when we've got a manual code. So this is automated, but it is case by case. So just as you would enter a normal item code for any treatment that's being completed, we just add in a TICK code into the patient's file. And with that and the date range that that's allocated to, say we've given the patient, we'll give you a call in a week's time, we enter in that tick number 7. Jeev will pick it up, notify the front desk in a week's time that, hey, John Smith wants a reminder to get that filling done. So it just really eliminates that manual process of writing down notes on the desk or notes on the side that John Smith needs a call. It's just all automated so that, again, the patients are being reminded of that outstanding treatment. So it's a filling before it's a root canal, but it's also that potential revenue for the clinic, which is shown here as well. So that's what it looks like, similar to the recall. So as that data is being completed, because we do love the analytics side of it all, this is where you can really roll out the KPIs to the front desk. So as the data is being completed, so as the front desk members are coming in and completing their calls per day, we can see that data. So you can look in and see who is doing the heavy lifting, what's the success rate of each of the call, and where potentially could someone need some more training. And that's in our 6th dashboard, which is our follow-up dashboard. And also why we recommend everyone to have their own account, so that you can then have this data in front of you, your practice manager for the staff meetings, or yourself as the owner, front desk member. We can see how many of the calls are being completed and also at what success rate. If your front desk staff is telling you that they're doing 100 calls per week, which is great, but if it's at a 10% success rate, then that's the lead that has been dismissed, just potentially caused by lack of training or so forth. So we also add in scripts so that the front desk, based on this data, you can establish your own script on what works within the clinic. and then put them out on the morning huddle so that when the front desk go to call the patients, they know exactly what they're saying. And that's, again, data driven. So we know that that's causing the higher success rate. So we're going to put that in the script there. The morning huddle, we've got a couple of, or the first one is a new feature. So we've put out reviews as well. So in your morning huddle, in the playbook of the day for the front desk view, you'll now be able to send reviews to each of the patients. So the Google reviews or the AirSmile reviews and so forth. It's just with the click of a button, and it is included in the subscription. And then if you do need to purchase more, it's all done within the morning huddle. We also have an equipment list, so a daily count. Most clinics count the equipment. We know that dental equipment is quite expensive, and in the human error process that it would accidentally go in the bin. We've automated that process so that the DAs or the front desk can enter that information, and whether the owner or the practice manager is in the clinic, they can just log in on any of the browsers and see on any of your browsers, sorry, that something is being lost. We've also got the daily lists count there, the daily list there as well. So it's just a daily list where, again, if you're not in clinic or the front desk members have a particular list of jobs that they already do day to day, we then automate that so that they're ticking it off. It's improving their productivity, but you're also being notified of what's being done and who's actually doing the work. The ROI of data analysis it's quite standard. I mean, if you improve by just 3% on, say, if we're looking at clinician KPIs of just increasing the hourly rate, that's potential $30,000 in patient fees. Or if we're looking at front desk staff, rolling out that KPI and increasing the rebooking rate, just one appointment per week, we're looking at potential $30,000 as well. So it really subsidizes the cost of the subscription. And it's not much to invest in. So alongside that, we also have our rewards program that is exclusive to Just Jeev members. We've partnered, obviously all our lovely partners are there, including Core Practice, and they each have their own individual exclusive deals for our Jeev clients. HireCaps alone offers up to 30% off the monthly merchant fees for the HireCaps clients. So that subsidizes, again, a lot of the subscription costs. But on that, for tonight, for all the attendees, we are offering the first month free. So I've linked my email address down there, and I'll put it in the chat section as well. And I'm sure Taki and everyone will send that across for each of the speakers tonight. But if you get into contact with us, we can do a one-on-one demo because there's a lot of information that I haven't even gone through that I know would be a big benefit to each of your clinics. So if you send us an email, we can set up a promo code for the first month free, and there's no setup costs or anything like that. So if in the instance it doesn't work for you, you can just cancel it across. But yeah, so that's everything. I'll pass it back on to you, Taki. I'm not sure if there's any questions that have come through already.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there will be. I've got a few questions anyway for everyone, but I want to thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. We've gone a bit over time, so I'll just pass on straight on to Justin, who will talk about MYOB and Xero. Justin has been in the Australian, New Zealand dental industry for over 13 years, or for 13 years, where he served as ANZ CFO for Seroma Dental. He then spent more than 25 years in senior finance roles for international businesses. And at present, he's been with us at Core Practice as Chief Financial Officer for more than 2 years now. So I'll pass on to you, Justin, and we will take the questions up. We'll go to final Q&A questions after Justin's session. Thank you so much.
All right. Wow. How amazing is this? All these really cool apps that are linked through the cloud. It's just amazing. So I know you've all been hanging out to hear what I've got to say about Xero and MYOB. So I'm being ironic there, so I'm going to be quite quick. Hopefully, I'll whiz through this. So, Xero and MYOB are major companies that they're not very flexible with how they treat other companies. So it's quite hard to integrate with them or get everything we want, but we've managed to do quite a good job. So what do we do as part of this integration? Well, we do bank reconciliations and dentist payments. So there's a module within Core Practice which is included in most of our subscriptions, which is managing the payments to dentists. Within that, that's tracking the lab fees, that kind of thing, and making if they're on a percentage of income to make sure they get paid correctly. Those transactions go across to Xero, as do bank reconciliations. So how do we do that? Well, within Core Practice, we've got to create a user, and then create a provider, so we can get the provider in, the provider sales and payment information to go over to Xero. We create a business for the provider. The provider might be Dr. John Smith, but they might be Better Smiles Pty Limited, or have a different trading name for their business or their family trust. We then have a bank account, so it might be several bank accounts or just the one bank account that we're linking into. Then we've got to create different payment types. You'd be creating these payment types anyway for if you didn't have the integration. So high caps, FPOS, cash, credit card, all the different types of payments. Then we would link it into Xero. So this shows where we're reconciling from manually in Xero, but if you're doing it manually, but these are the amounts that come across that are shown in our dashboard reports inside Core Practice. That's what comes across. So it's got to be correct inside Core Practice before it goes over to Xero. That whole thing, that saying, garbage in, garbage out. So if it's not correct inside Core Practice, it'll come out exactly the same way in Xero. So one of the things we recommend is that people, when you start with Core Practice, you do the reconciliation manually, and you make sure that you're reconciling daily, and everything is coming out the way you expect it to on your reports, that your front desk staff are allocating the right payment type, and then it goes really smoothly.
Justin, are you supposed to be sharing a screen? Just
I am supposed to be sharing a screen, and I'm not. Thank you.
You are beautiful to look at, but I just thought you were trying to show something.
No, I was trying to share a screen. I should have asked that question first. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Not yet.
How about now?
It's coming through. Now we can. Thank you.
Ah, right. Well, I might just... Nope. I'll go back a little bit.
Sorry, Justin, I thought you were just presenting yourself and just going through.
Yeah, no problem.
You were sharing.
Thanks for that. Well, this was one of the screens I was showing about one of our great dashboard reports. This screen here is how you check to make sure that the right calculations have gone through, and there's two kind of phases. One, we can manually push transactions through into Xero, and we probably do that for the first few days, and then fully automate it so that the transactions go through. So we can push them through manually, or automate. And if this is how it looks in Xero, it's very similar for MYOB, but in Xero, we have on the bank reconciliation, we've got the bank feed on the left, and on the right we've got what will come through from Xero, and then it'll just be a matter of ticking it off and going okay, and then that one's reconciled. So with any entries into Xero, it's double-sided. So there's a debit and a credit. The other side goes to a clearing account for the provider, and then when we've done a provider statement, I'm not going to go into provider statements or dentist statements today, but when you've complete that at the end of each month, another transaction goes in to the clearing account inside Xero, and then that will match exactly what's owed to the provider. So it's kind of like a pretty cool reconciliation process. This is going through setting it up. So the setup is really quite straightforward. You could do it yourself, or we can do it for you, choosing the commission rate, and we can also have one provider in several locations. So if you're a multi-practice business, one provider might go across several locations. So it can be quite tricky to work out what they're owed, and we're able to do that inside Core Practice. This is a quick overview of a dentist statement or a provider statement, where we'd show their income and then their costs down below and what is owed to them. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. I suppose I should say one more thing, that there is a fee for this. So this is extra to, this is extra to the normal Core Practice subscription. It's an add-on. So there's a setup fee, and then there's a monthly subscription fee.
Thank you so much for that, Justin. Really appreciate it. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need help from my accountant to set up the integration?
Thank you for that question. Yes. Unless you're an accountant yourself, you still need to understand how Xero works or how accounting systems work. So we found that people that try to do it by themselves without their accountant need to get their accountant in afterwards. It's not that Core Practice is complicated. It's just you need to make sure that you're recording the entries from Core Practice in the correct way that's going to give you the best advantage inside Xero or MYOB. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We've got some questions here. Hi, Justin. If I already have a Xero subscription, what's the extra cost on top of it?
We have a setup cost of $2,000 and an ongoing subscription of $200. So it's we find that it's more the larger practices that are wanting to get the benefit from doing that. So if you're a one-man band, you might not go with the integration.
Thanks for that, Justin, or thanks from Nikhil. I can see that Max has replied to Nikhil's question. I'll leave it at that if that's okay. And we have some other questions here for Jeev. What's the monthly cost for Jeev, Rachel?
Just double checking. Oh, perfect. That's working. Yeah, so I didn't go through that. I do apologize. I feel like that's the same as Max. It just skips my mind. So the monthly subscription, I didn't mention it is, we can do multiple clinics as well. So if you're just looking at the one clinic, it is $349 plus GST per month. So per clinic per month. But obviously, as I went through the rewards program, we've all got exclusive deals from all of our partners, and HiCaps alone offers up to 30% off the monthly merchant fees. So that subsidizes most of the costs as well. Hopefully that answers the question.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. For CoTreat, are clinical observations included in the specific relevant locations as well? Or is that the one you've just answered? Sorry, you must have answered that, Max.
Yeah, that's the one I've answered, Taki, I think.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. For AirSmile, do I get charged by AirSmile if a new patient fails to attend or they cancel? Rebecca?
Okay, I did just put that in the chat, but no, they don't. So as soon as a patient cancels, we are notified, especially with the core integration. If they cancel through the core system, we will automatically know that, and there will be no charge to the practice. So if they fail to attend or cancel, there's no charge.
Excellent, thank you. And we have for fixed price, which treatment booking options can we offer patients through Fixed Price Dental?
Yeah, absolutely. I might just actually share my screen to show you on the website.
Sure.
Yeah, so when you jump on select a treatment, these are the options that patients have to book from. So you've got checkup and clean, emergencies, fillings, crowns, different types of extractions, and then in-chair Zoom whitening. So yeah.
Excellent, thank you for that. Maybe a few other questions. Rebecca, can I customize booking options using AirSmile's dentist portal and my core practice software?
So to an extent you can customize. So in terms of, you can choose which services that you would like to opt into. So that's absolutely customizable. As I mentioned in the presentation, you only need to opt into at least one, and that allows you to appear on the AirSmile platform. But you can choose up to 15. So it's customizable in that way. And then you can log into the dentist portal, the AirSmile dentist portal at any stage and make any changes to your listing. And then in terms of the core practice system, everything stays the same. So what you present or what you put into the core practice system will be also available or listed and connect with the AirSmile platform as well. So what I mean by that is the times that you allocate to, say, an emergency appointment or a whitening consultation, that's how much the patients will, that's how the length of time that a patient will book into the system.
Excellent, thank you. And is there a risk of patients double booking if I have a list of my practice with multiple online directories?
No, that's great. That's why, because core practice is so quick and online. And so that probably might be a better question for core practice. But my understanding is that no, as soon as a patient books online, it is seamless and it goes straight into the core practice system. And therefore double booking is a minimal risk of happening.
Excellent. And how will I know what platform patients book from?
Well, my understanding is with the AirSmile platform, it will actually notify, there will be a description there with the appointment booking, and it will actually say AirSmile. So maybe the others can, maybe Fixed Price, Jordan can talk about that, but I know for AirSmile, it will actually say that it came from AirSmile.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing. Yeah, when the booking gets entered into the system, it'll say the platform that has come from. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. There's another question here, which you've answered, Jordan. Thank you for that. And also another one from Nikhil. If an existing patient of the practice books through your platform, do we get charged? For Jordan.
Yeah, so we charge per booking, but we do encourage that once you get that booking, that then all future bookings are made directly between you and the clinic. But we find that out of the last 3 or 4 years we've been running, 99.95% of people that are on our website are all just brand new patients, and then they've found their dentist and they don't come back through us.
Excellent. Thank you, Jordan. Let me see if there's any others. That's a thank you from Nikhil. Jordan, thank you for that. I guess, Max, I've got a question. AI is a relatively new and developing technology. What benefit is there to jumping in to use CodeTreat now instead of waiting until the technology develops further, I guess, and enhances further, like any other software?
Yeah, sure. I think we've been pretty slow to come to market, Taki, even though like AI is becoming this like hot topic right now. We've been developing this for 3 years, so it is pretty advanced in its development. So it's been tested really robustly, and clear advantages to case acceptance, and it's just another way to differentiate in the practice, right? Like if you're an early adopter of tech and all the patients are talking about AI, it just shows that you're actually a leader in tech. So I think there's a whole heap of not just the clinical decision making stuff to prevent patient harm and try to get those treatment plans up. I think pretty clear reasons.
That's it. And something about I guess the treatment planning itself. All practice owners I'm sure can see the benefit from having better data, but with your junior dentists in particular and associates, how do you go about working with those dentists and maybe using this information without coming across as like a big brother or a hard ass boss, in other words?
I think it's a real legit question. I think this is about the culture that you create in the practice. So if there's a culture of like self-improvement and kind of vulnerability, and as a practice owner, you never want to come across like waving saying you missed all these things. That's obviously not how we're going to do it. So at a staff meeting, or if it's a one-on-one mentor session, it's just like really nice having the clinical data available to say, hey, there's maybe a little bit of a perio and calculus problem or secondary caries. So I think it's all about the tact and the skill of the senior dentist to enable better visibility, but then use that to support rather than admonish and set harsh KPIs and stuff like that. And we've got a load of beta testers, and I'm going to say 99% of clinic owners, they have a heart and they'll mentor and support.
Of course. Absolutely. Thanks for that. And there's another question from Nikhil again. Do all the pictures and radiographs automatically get assessed by CodeTreat?
So you need to enable the integration, Nikhil. So if you're a core practice user, you're going to go in, enable an integration, and then there's actually 2 modes of integrations. You can automatically upload all the patients for tomorrow, or you can get a dental assistant to manually click which patients you want analyzed or which clinicians' patients you want analyzed. So there's a bit of optionality there. But yeah, essentially after you upload it. So if there was no integration, you can still manually drag and drop. But yeah, we've also got this human verification step that sanity checks the AI predictions, and a lot of the rarer things we're going to be leaning on humans for a long time. Like the data sets will take a long time to build up around non-malignant odontogenic observations, ameloblastoma, all these sort of rarer stuff. It's going to take us ages to fully automate, but we've got the workflow set up to go broad right now. So low-hanging things like caries and perio and stuff like that will be fully automated and instantaneous within a matter of months, hopefully. But the more rare observations will take some time to make it fully AI.
Thank you, Max. And which reminds me, after your comment there in the beginning of that answer, I'll show you guys where to go for any integrations from core practice, so you can actually see how to activate them. Not all of them are there, of course, at this moment in time. However, I will show you very quickly. I'll share my screen in a second. I'll just finish up on these questions. Rachel, these are for you. How does GIV Analytics differentiate from other BIs?
Yeah, so there is, it depends what we're comparing it to, but the most sustainable part about GIV alongside of the analytics is our morning huddle. So the playbook of the day ahead and the automated patient follow-ups, it's a significant difference from other BIs, especially in dental.
And how current is the data in Jeeve?
Yeah, so it's updated hourly. So when we do the onboarding, we integrate it with the clinic server. Then obviously when the data is being put through core practice, Jeeve just syncs that every hour. So it's always current.
Fantastic. And can Jeeve Analytics be used for multiple clinics?
Yeah, absolutely. So we also, a feature that I didn't mention, one of the dashboards, we also have recently launched a multi-clinic dashboard. So instead of just flicking in between each of the clinics, we can now, and comparing the clinicians between each other, we can now compare the clinics against each other as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Rachel.
Thank you.
I'm just going to turn my camera off, and what I'll do is I'll just share my screen with you guys, and hopefully I will be able to show you exactly where to go. You can all see that now?
Yep.
Excellent, thank you. So if you're logged into your core practice URL, you can, if you're a business owner, practice manager, or you have full access, you'll obviously see the cog wheel at the top right here. You just click on it and you go to settings. Once you're in settings, you'll see that there is a whole lot of menus to choose from, and all you do is you go down to integrations on the top, on the bottom right, and you just go to add-ons. And in the add-ons, you can see I'm connected to Xero, and you can disconnect it or refresh it and so forth. SmileRight, you can integrate with SmileRight, which is our, for those who don't know, our finance and educational platform, and also a marketing platform for your social media that you can use. We also integrate with Medipass, which is an electronic version of HiCaps or Tyro if you're not using it. And now you can also integrate with Stripe, which means you can take deposits with your online booking, whereas you might not have been able to before. You can now take deposits, which will reduce your patients' willingness to FTA or UTA. You know, if there's money involved, they're more likely to attend your appointment. So you can integrate with Stripe as well. Now, this is where you'll probably find Jeeve, AirSmile, and all the other integrations, CodeTreat, and so forth. You'll find them all here. But not everything is here yet, but as we move along and move forward, they'll all be in this area here. So as I said before, you just go to settings and add-ons under the integrations tab, and it brings you to this page. So that's basically it. Guys, thank you so much. If there's no more questions, I'd just like to thank you all for attending. And of course, I'll pass on to Mark to thank everyone as well. I'd like to thank all of our speakers. It was very insightful, and I've learned a thing or two as well from all of you. And if there are any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact all our speakers and all of and even us. We're more than happy to pass on the questions and get the answers for you, or get the relevant people to give you a buzz or send you an email and so forth. So thank you so much for attending. Mark, did you want to say something in closing?
Yeah, thanks, Taki, and thanks to yourself for emceeing tonight. You did a
No problem.
fantastic job, mate. Thank you. Thanks to Max, Rachel, Rebecca, Jordan, and Justin. Really appreciate your time. Hopefully you all agree, you know, it's really an exciting time, and with all of these integrations, and as mentioned before, you know, core practice being Australian made, supported, the innovations coming within Australia, as are all of our partners. So, you know, we really are mixing with the best. We've got some fantastic technology, great ideas coming out of Australia. There's more to come. So, you know, that's 6 of as I mentioned, 15, 16, there's a handful more to come. So if I can encourage you, if you're not already, follow us on our socials. There's obviously the Core Practice Facebook socials, and there's also another site which is ran by a dentist, Sonali Sharma. It's called Core Practice Dentists. So there again on Facebook, please join that. And there you'll see lots of tips and tricks. So plenty of questions being asked on a regular basis. How do I do this? How do I solve a certain challenge? And, Core Practice maybe doesn't do everything the way that you would want it, but most definitely there are workarounds in so many different ways that our multiple users have worked out over the years. So please, jump onto those socials, those Facebook pages. There we go. They've all been put on there with the socials. Thank you, Yana. And yeah, thank you. We will be sending out an email to all those attendees, just letting you know about our partners, giving you a quick summary, and just bringing you up to speed as to how you can contact our presenters today if you wish to move forward or you wish to find a little bit more information. But thanks everyone for being so engaging. There was lots of great questions there, and hopefully you've seen a bit of value out of tonight. So once again, thanks to Taki, thanks to our presenters, and we will catch up soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Thanks
so
very
much.
much.
Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Taki.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks, Taki. Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Bye.